Welcome to the WTR Small-Cap Spotlight Podcast. I'm your host, Tim Gerdeman, Vice Chair and Co-founder and Chief Marketing Officer of Water Tower Research. In today's Flashcast episode, I'm being joined by my colleague and WTR Senior Energy Transition and Sustainable Investing Analyst, Peter Gastreich. Peter will share some insights from his initiation of coverage report on Ocean Power Technologies, NYSE, ticker symbol OPTT. Good morning, Peter, and thanks for joining me.
Morning, Tim. It's good to be here.
So, Peter, let's kick things off by you telling our listeners how Ocean Power Technologies got started, then pivot to how the business model has evolved over the years, please.
Absolutely, Tim. So OPTT started out with this idea to tap into ocean waves and turn them into electricity. They spent more than 2 decades perfecting their power buoy platform, which can produce renewable power under all sorts of sea and weather conditions. But the renewable wave energy strategy was not enough. So under the leadership of CEO Dr. Philip Stratman, the team sought to do more. And that was move into smart ocean monitoring and communication. So they switched gears, acquired some great technology like the WAM-V unmanned surface vehicle, and they rolled out their AI-capable Mero software, which is essentially a command and control system. These elements have all been wrapped together into a single offering, and OPTT is implementing service models to deliver in robotics, data, and power for its customers in defense, offshore energy, ocean research, and other markets. So the company has really gone through quite an evolution.
That's really cool. So what markets look most promising for ocean power right now, Peter?
Well, there's a lot happening in the US and globally. So for one, the US wants to be a leader in drone technology with the drone dominant strategy, including marine autonomous vehicles. So demand for these unmanned ocean assets is really heating up. Number two, offshore wind projects are showing a big need for autonomous monitoring. On top of that, you've got things like stopping illegal fishing, keeping tabs on borders, and fighting drug trafficking. All these things require persistent ocean surveillance. For climate research, their robots can gather data way cheaper than sending out unmanned vessels. On the international front, ocean power is growing with allied nations and tapping into new so-called blue economy markets like monitoring fish farms or tracking ocean carbon. Finally, I'd just like to point out that the Coast Guard's Force Design 2028 will be big for distributed maritime tech. And you can learn more about that in our new report.
So there's a lot going on there. So as we peel the onion layers back, Peter, where's management's current strategic focus at the moment?
Well, right now, OPTT is focused on scaling up and keeping operations tight. They're moving away from demonstration projects and getting more into commercial operations, including ongoing services where customers get more flexibility. And for OPTT, this means a more capital light strategy with steadier, higher margin revenue. They're also teaming up with local partners, for example, in Latin America and in the UAE. This allows them to break into new markets. But with those partnerships, it doesn't have that associated drag on their operating expenses. Plus, they've got a partnership that combines drones with WAM-V vehicles, and that's pretty cool. And very importantly, cost control is really front and center, and they're working hard to turn a big backlog of projects, especially in defense and offshore energy, into revenue.
Thanks for that color, Peter. So moving on, what makes ocean power stand out relative to its peers?
I'd say that the real superpower is how they're bringing everything together: reliable power, smart vehicles, and software that ties all this together for unmanned ocean missions. They've got strong credentials like secret level clearance with the Department of Defense and ISO 9001 certification. So these big government programs are definitely on the table for them. Next, with about 70 patents in their pocket, their tech is proprietary. Moving on, their engineering is strong and durable at sea, especially with the WAM-V designs, and they've got thousands of operational hours in extreme marine conditions to prove that. Meanwhile, the Mero software platform that I discussed earlier is built to operate with other third-party systems. Finally, they're certified with AUVSI, which reflects the highest standards in terms of safety and autonomy.
So every firm obviously faces select challenges. What challenges does Ocean Power face as they try to execute this strategy?
Yeah, that's right, Tim. I mean, there are a few things to consider here. For one, there's still a lot of uncertainty around rules for autonomous ocean operations worldwide. Second, selling to governments takes time, sometimes up to 2 years. So that means revenue can take time. And since industries like energy and defense are very, let's say, cautious sectors, Opti often has to do many demos before landing those big deals. Next, competition's ramping up, both from old players and the new startups. So they need to keep investing in research and development while making sure that they've got enough cash to grow. And so far, Opti is managing that very nicely. Finally, it takes time for customers to become, comfortable with autonomous systems and technology, which should not be a total surprise. That will take time, but the benefits, Tim, there are, undeniable.
Great. Peter, any takeaways from their recent quarterly earnings results that you want to share with us?
Very much heading in the right direction with OPTT. Their backlog in fiscal Q1, it hit 15 million, which is almost triple from the same period last year. And their pipeline now is exceeding $130 million. And if you look at the Q1 revenue as an example, with just $1.2 million, you can see that the values of the backlog and pipeline are big multiples of the annualized revenue. Finally, the company finished the first quarter with almost 10 million in cash, Tim.
Great. So before we wrap up, Peter, any parting words for investors interested in OPTT or the broader sector at large?
Well, Tim, Ocean Power, it's really at an exciting crossroads right now. They've evolved from a company that harnesses the renewable energy of ocean waves to now really a maritime domain awareness company that provides intelligent solutions and services. You've got smart and experienced leadership, proven technology, a flexible business model, rising market demand, and a growing backlog, which I mentioned is now a multiple of its revenue, big multiple. So you've got really a great foundation there. So with all this in place, it's time for management to execute. And as for investors, they can start the due diligence process right here at Water Tower Research. So check out our content. It's open access.
Well, as an ocean and military junkie, Peter, I will be the first to volunteer if they ever have an investor and analyst field trip, because that's a really cool story. Thank you for those insights and regarding your initiation of coverage on Ocean Power Technologies NYSE ticker symbol OPTT. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe, as well as visiting www.watertowerresearch.com to stay up to speed on the company's small cap written research reports, podcasts, fireside chats, industry-specific symposiums, and conference schedules. We will see you next time for another edition of the WTR Small-Cap Spotlight Podcast. Finally, a special thanks to the producer and editor of the podcast, Krista Fitzpatrick.